Episode number 3.
This is 4.
Is it 4?
This is the 4th one.
Oh!
Guys started or
Yeah, it's
We on. So I can't hey, man, welcome back.
audio.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Yeah. So, right.
So I'll be good, guys. We have first Tory Saint Lona, no Almo as usual. We have a special guest, someone I'm very excited to be having a conversation with. Langelihle Maniza Khuzwayo.
Maniza.
That's why you're thinking
Maniza.
What does it mean?
What's a manizo?
It's a Maniza. Play it back.
That's why I have English for me now, because what's the proper way of actually saying this anymore?
My Langelihle Maniza Khuzwayo.
Maniza.
Maniza.
Was it like given by a parent or it's just friends?
How's the relationship with me now? Gogo, Mzali.
Gogo. And funny enough, I actually have a song about it now because yes. So Langelihle Maniza Khuzwayo. Umaniza is a name that I got from Gogo Macele, and she just gave it to me.
How did you interpret it? Even is it like firstly we ID?
Igama lami,
So
igama
when
lami.
you're thinking ukuthi chaza ukuthini waqala ngokuthi chaza ukuthini.
Personally, I've never wanted to know what's Yukazutin because Nina igama lami and you know. And then when I was introducing myself to Abantu, it's all Maniza because I'm more Maniza Kaya than I am Langelihle. They're like, Maniza, like, is that your real name? And I'm like, yeah, that's my real name. They're like, Namaga, it's a nickname. Okay. And then they're like, Kazutin Angaz. Oh no, Maniza. Oh, when you come. Oh, like, nah, that's not what it means. It's just Maniza.
When you come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. God was like, you don't want to try and figure it out.
No, that's interesting.
No, for me, I think it's not so much that I don't want to try and figure out it's a Kazutin more than it is. I think my gran kind of left me with it so that whatever I become is whatever the name means. Because I mean, I had to Maniza Mazio like as a name, not
because
I've
never heard anyone to.
We have a poem, Ekulma, I think it's, I don't know if I paraphrase right, but it talks about like calling yourself back.
Yeah. That's the one that became a song.
Oh,
yeah.
So
So yeah, I'm still working on it. It's in the final stages. So
okay.
Do you know it has a of your surname?
Oh yes, Zaman Khuzwayo. So Nami Khuzwayo because Mlanjan. And Oqwabe Khuzwayo, Oqwabo Mngunu Phathwayo, Khondlo Gumedo,
Yo, I mean, for some reason, do you know when you're full, not full, but like a respectful clean names?
Oh well, man.
Yo,
when there's others up.
I mean, I only know 4, and interestingly enough, I know Ngoba usually makes a kaya. Like if there's rituals happening, ceremonies. I remember the time my granny from my father's side was still alive. She used to say every time, you know, Makaya, if you having this thing, you finish eating like after also and stuff, and then after the gracing your ancestors for whatever meal you got, it's Monday, wake us. And my granny usually we will say "String up," and then she will continue to say the session. It's Monday, wake us, Chopin, Monday, Asho, like so many I have to say I celebrate.
Yes.
That's the only way.
And now I was like I don't know, 2 days or 3 days ago, I think it's getting a Google and trying to research and learn them because like it's not something that you actually it's called a Google.
That's not what
It's not something you actually like call and tell like it's something that you actually have to kind of learn. Different household, but the car, but that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah, because amagama, it's something that we take, and I can see amagama like from your first name and middle name, but the last name, it's usually the name. It's important to not just know, because I can know I'm Ngonziman, but how far do I know Ngonziman? Because knowing far back, it creates some base for you. It's like some strength, no, this is where I come from, so you don't get confused, which is your identity that you always come to, so it's important. Yeah, I can tell every time I figure out, because Ingo, last time I asked him.
Ingo showcasing you all of them. I'll showcase Ingo guys.
And like even one of his names was surname Gamawak, which I thought was cool.
And I'm bad. But if do you have your second name one?
I do have a second name.
Is it an English name?
No, it's not English.
It's it.
Alas.
What if he's not comfortable with saying?
Yeah, I think I got what's the actual name?
No, I'm comfortable saying. Gwaden is actually my second name. My first name is Pure Nkos.
Oh yeah,
that is nice.
Pure Nkos.
I've never met anyone with that name.
Sorry.
Don't ruin that.
Man, that's it. Let's talk about the South African name, man. Yo, sadly, no, before South Africa, Robert Mugabe, president. I don't know if you've seen this story.
He passed.
Yeah, he passed. Man. And first, the article said he was in Singapore. Like, wow, why you are in Singapore? Is it like to travel?
I haven't actually read up on that.
Yeah, now I haven't, because I think it was like yesterday.
Article BT.
No, say he passed away.
I think for the most part, why are you concerned with where he passed?
No, for some reason, tell me if an article, that's the only thing that stands out.
Why should you article?
Yeah, I don't know. He passed while in corner, or it was something
related to being in Singapore.
Yeah, so that's what.
But what happened? Do you know?
I don't know. But then, no, I was just saying because there's a blueprint, anyway, because everywhere you go, if they're speaking about leaders in Africa, always is going to stand out some, because he was one of those leaders who stood, even though he was stubborn. I think by age, he got even more stubborn to believe whatever he believes on, it's what's going to actually happen. So it's one of those leaders that were like, okay, I think it was time for some reason. It's okay, it's cool.
And I think as much as it's very sad that he's passed, and it's always sad when someone passes. But I read somewhere that he was 95. Like the man was old enough. He'd done. Yeah. We're speaking about him right now. He'd done more than enough in his lifetime to have left a legacy. To have, as much as it's not as great or as, I think everything is not black and white. Everything is always in the gray matter. There are certain conversations that are had behind closed doors and certain things that happen. But I think for the most part, everyone does what they can, everyone does what they do, and then ziyadlula.
And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, or from Zimbabwe. And actually was during the time where they wanted to get him to step out of power, right? To go and pray until he dies. Yeah, we were waiting.
But I think that's the other thing.
He came out and said, not even God is gonna take me. That wasn't decided. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go.
And I think it's weird. It's weird because we can't celebrate, but we also can't be. Yeah. Because the people of the country are just like, yay, lo muntu lo wesinisa bra. Like we can't. we can't run away from the fact that we don't know. There's so much.
But it's like you want to sympathize, but also at the same time,
Yeah, ish.
But
oh, the people were praying the nigga dies. You know.
So
I was thinking about in Zimbabwe. I had a friend. No, actually, he was a roommate. He was from Zimbabwe. What was his name? Blessing. That was his name. That guy, he was so smart. I think he did some business management type career.
Mm-hmm.
He will tell you when he reads, because I think he had a module for human resources. We carried the concept. We studied that. So he will tell you, he doesn't read the page twice. He only just reads, and then he gets that, and then he moves on. Right? He was but the character, it was very interesting.
Also,
always it is. He was one of those people who are comfortable at being like, I'm this type of person, regardless of who's around, because he used to have a program in short, like pinkish, but there was one day, there was one day where why he put it, I think a day before. Or it's 2014. We're trying to go more on the iconic side. So one day, I put it, saying, you know, as a majid, there's this thing is now your own majid abangayas, and I'm saying, if you think you'll come, kuba khona amatende sokuvuki ahleze emile nje uyawazi nawe lo
and in my days
Matende. But I don't think only guys know that. I think that's actually public information. You know? That you
for us,
that
so imagine that thing we want more if you know rooms and everything. If uzolala ugqoke into ethanda ukuthi nje awazi ukuthi mobile usukuma, you need to be aware with shit.
But you guys all know that you will all wake up with the book like
we come to so much.
But yeah, it's
but
still
if there's someone
they still so that thing could say.
Oh, but guys, we all know when we wake up in the morning, all of us in this room will have a boner. So mind your own boner.
Mind. That thing is, if in the room you comfortable in your house, if there's someone knocking,
so someone has to go and open the door.
But for some reason, he used to be the one who always wakes up early when light sleeper. So mind you, I'm not a morning person. I'm after 6 thinking I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm waking up. So he used to be the one who's and then one day Wednesday I don't do leg, and then one chick, I think it was my friend's chick who was looking for him. Wafika. Same scenario, then they like it mega J, a knocker, wahamba uchita, wayovuna. Topless, bare feet, shorty, then the million only to find it in Tomazan. Kamnandi wangakunaka lo. Now, what's it called? One uncomfortable low, but now no, it's not here. But guys, they're way cool in our I was like, okay, I'm a foreigners. Some of the guys they behave in that way. When have you been around our friends who are from a different place, and there are certain characters afanayo, and there are certain characters of me. Oh, okay, that's different from me, because now I came around our friends from Nigeria. But young in Tengabo, there's always one thing that we similar in terms of being inhumane in a way, welcoming. But Mr. Wako but there's this thing, I think that's where usually we better in a way, the mentality we usually
have. I had when I was at Vets, I remember the first time that I had the same guy that I was telling you about, they go and pray with it. Yeah. So how we met was that we were in the same accounting class, and I mean, because I did accounting in high school, so nangiyazi kakhulu the content of what we were doing, because we started with the work that we did in high school, and then we, for the people that didn't do accounting in high school, and he hadn't done accounting in high school. So ngikhumbula this one time in the study area, and afike, and then he says, you do accounting, I'm like, yeah, like, please help me with this. I'm like, okay, cool. So I try to explain everything, and the one thing that I picked up, that I had picked up from other people as well, was like this eagerness to learn. Like Ngaz, he really was, because like I would explain something and he would stop me. I said, yeah, you explained that well. Like he would actually shake my hand for like the way that I explained something. And
Yeah,
that
because
was
it's usually formulas we are counting, yeah.
yeah, and that Ngaz, I'm being very stereotypical based on the number of people that I've interacted with, but the eagerness for just like knowledge, for learning, it was in depth, because it wasn't the first time. We also had another friend who was doing actual science, but we had English together, who also shared that same like
Vibe,
yeah.
Christianity.
And I
He wants to-
think
there's
for
this
them,
struggle
for
thing.
them, the school system, I think back at 13, I think, I don't know, I'm just assuming here.
It's far ahead.
It's far ahead, man. Yeah, it's far ahead. So like, I think that need for knowledge and for education, because even now Robert now, the late Robert, he's well learned, in 7 degrees or whatnot.
Yeah. He was. I think he was like the most educated president or something to that effect. Personally, I think I don't know. Maybe it's naivety, but I don't really consider all of that, because for me, I think everyone is I stereotype everyone according to where they are, how they are, what they're doing, who they've shown me to be. So I personally can't, of my friends even that are quote unquote foreigners, I can't relate it back to, because in my head that's not how because I know you from Durban. So if we can get to a point where we're clicking in Durban, then that's just, and those mannerisms for me, I can't tell whether they're from back home, or whether you learned them here, or whether they're personal, or what the case is. So I personally, I always try to judge the man by the man.
Yeah, because nothing human can ever feel alien to me.
Yeah.
I'm also a human.
My Angelo.
Yeah. So I can be able to really kind of see with why Ganje. I wouldn't say that this is because of Ganje, even though environments do shape you, but I don't think that carries like it's inseparable with the person.
Yeah, because even with stereotypes, I think stereotypes are, in a sense, how we categorize humanity, but they're also pretty dangerous, because we end up going into situations already having figured out the whole outcome in our heads, and having predestined and pre-designed everything in the way that even our attitude is not the same. So
when I first like got to Joburg and we were part of this poetry society event, and so now it came a time whereby like I think it was Heritage Month, something like that. So we were just telling each other where I'm from, and then I tell them where I'm from, and then I tell them to Musu. Like what?
It's such a show that people, I don't know, they take the reference at
Joburg because it's so soft. And I've had like those questions come up frequently when I was there, and the weird part is that people say that as it's a compliment, like no, like
for some
strange
reason.
I remember calling him Umzulu, I'm like Umzulu Zolo. Like Umzulu. So that's what you're saying, but like stereotype, they're quite dangerous, because it's like you almost like expect somebody to behave in a certain way, and you want like. You assume what's it because Ganje, Ganje, and that crosses. That even crosses like, just like ethnicity, even to like gender as well. If you're like this, behave like this. If you're like this, behave like this.
But that also just ruins the whole human experience for you as well, because you end up not getting to know people. And I'd much rather get to know someone and get to know who they are and how they classify themselves and what they think of themselves, and give them the opportunity to show me who they are, rather than to miss out on, because I've met some really amazing people in the weirdest ways. And if you're the kind of person who's not willing to give people a chance, to really give people a chance, you're gonna miss out on so much in your life. Just because someone said this, or just because they look a certain way, or because you've been told this and this and this. But it's not to say go against your gut or go against what you believe in and allow people who are dangerous for your space and your energy to be in the space and the energy. But it is to say that you not judge, but you kind of give each individual leeway based on who they are and how they are, not on what you've known or heard about their people, or not on what you've heard or known about, with as much as that can give you certain precautions, because it's not all made up, it's not all a farce, but it's not to say that everyone is that same way. That's the danger of the stereotypes.
There's something interesting. Jada
Pinkett
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah. She said while we read Table Talk, she was like, there's this thing as human beings we do, or we like to, I think it's, so for some reason it's natural, but where we put people in our lives, we give people roles unconsciously. Njengamanje, when your relationship to your mother was ukuthi daughter yakhe, for example, when was to mother work. So there are certain responsibilities or expected from her. As a mother, she needs to deliver this way, deliver this way, deliver this way. Now, if she's my daughter, she needs to behave this way. But then beyond that, at the end of the day, each and every person is an individual.
Yeah.
So you need to keep that in mind. As much as a good daughter work, as much as I'm your son, I am an individual. Now, he needs to understand that part. If it's your father, I am your son, but at the end of the day, I'm an individual, which means there are certain things where I'm not gonna be able to be put in the same role as a son. From Norway, also same thing. Oh, you're always gonna expect to mother work needs to behave this way, needs to respect you in this type of way. But there are certain times where as a community, I am an individual.
No, but it's not to say that. I think that the only problem with what you're saying is expectation. But it's not to say that the roles that we've tied ourselves to play in each other's lives are angazi. Now they're the problem.
No,
I think
no,
for me the problem is expecting that someone should behave a certain way because they relate to you a certain way.
Yeah, that thing I think it happens unconsciously most of the time. You just expect to see the father is your father.
A friend that happens unconsciously, it first begins to happen consciously.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
And then it sinks in. And then it sinks in because
and then it becomes a part of.
Yeah, because everything that happens unconsciously, it first you were conscious. There was a conscious awareness of it, and then it sunk into your mind.
Nip it in
and
the
then
bud.
and then it started playing along the line. But I think it's actually bringing it to, if it's an unconscious thing, bring it to awareness to that person and tell them to work on it.
Because at the end of the day, if we're conscious of it and we're having the conversation consciously, then that is to say that we can be able to consciously change it and bring it to the awareness and do something about it. Because we can't go around here expecting things from people and of people when it's to say that even if you're my friend, now you've got other things that you're doing. Even if you're my mother, now we've got other children, other roles, other responsibilities, I can't be expecting that just because you gave me life, now I must live off your life.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But it happens though.
It definitely does happen, but we can't enable it. See, that's where we should be as a people.
Let me just throw, because I want to get deeper with your view. But let me ask you this. How you expect what is that thing that you or as a mother is supposed to provide to her children? Like without anything, what is that first thing?
I don't know, I just have an issue with should. But I think I'm at a point in my life where I don't think that anyone owes me anything. If you want to stay. If that's what you want to offer me that. But if we're gonna have the contract, stick to the contract kind of thing also. Yeah, but but a contract is not something that you
It's just
looping. It's to say that agreement rather than contract. Uguti, right now I'm at a place where in my life, even with family, even with people I'm related to via blood, my man, if we want to be in each other's lives, there are certain things that we're going to have to buy into, certain concepts that we're going to have to buy into, certain things that we're going to have to provide for each other, right? And we need to agree on that. But it's not to say that for my mom, I think for me, my mom has offered me a great deal of support. And so because of that, that's like the first thing. As much as, yes, love, definitely, but more than anything, I think support. But I don't expect her to support every single thing I do. I don't expect her to be at every single show. You guys have come to my shows, you've never seen my mom. But she supports me. She calls me before the thing sometimes. She's like, yo, I can't be there or something, but And sometimes I don't even ask. I'll just tell her that I'm doing this and this and this and this and then there's this. And her supporting me is just sometimes not even now. If I expect her to come to every show, I expect her to make every single sacrifice under the earth so that she can show me the support in a way that is aligned to how I think support should be, then I would never appreciate the fact that my mom supports me.
True. Because if you expect people to show they love and support in a certain way, it blinds you from how they actually are able to do that. Like there's this concept called what is it called? The double bind. So a double bind is when you ask something from someone which they cannot give you, and they themselves are not aware that they can't give you that. So because of this confusion between them and this frustration between them and this guilt within them to say that ufuna loku, but I want to give you, but I'm not giving, because again in that mind I'm not giving it to you because they are not aware that they cannot give that to you. So for example, it's like I can get two examples. For the simple one is like go to sleep. It's like sleeping is not something that you do yourself. It happens to you. And another one is when if you love me, you will do as I said. Like those two things are not really related. Of course I love you. Of course I will, but I want to have that choice. Myself. Yeah, I want to have the choice to do what I want. So you're asking them of something that is impossible for them to actually give you. Love me in this way. I can love you. I'm still able to love you, but I want to love you in this way, and I don't want to compromise what I want to do. This thing that I'm doing has nothing to do with me like fighting with you. I remember when I stayed with my sister, right? So she had a curfew for me, 8 p.m. essentially, right? And I was working at this dance studio at the same time, So sometimes I'm a client, I'm gonna be late, and then I asked to pull it to 7:30, right? So then from 7:30 up until 8:30, I'm there with the client, right? And then I get home late. To her, that translates as you are being disrespectful to me. But when I did that, I wasn't saying I'm doing this. See, the two are not correlated, but in her mind, it was like this very act was an act of disrespect towards me. And it wasn't that.
Meanwhile, it had
nothing to do with her.
And the whole time, maybe you're there with the clients and you feel guilty because you know that at the end of the day, your sister's got, and then there's also going to be the big fights and you're dreading.
But let's flip the same situation, looking at the perspective from what you were saying. Because when you're going to say, what I'm doing, it's not because I'm trying to be disrespectful and whatnot. Yeah, I may say to you, okay, I might not be thinking with you being disrespectful, but like in the cases of figure two, I might be concerned with it. Maybe when you don't realize what are the actual what could actually happen to you. I've been there. They're trying to make you, but man, they can see you're not actually listening, not hearing, and then they're trying to force.
So my issue with that is, as much as, because I know that there are people also, even in my own personal life,
that's how they feel protected.
But then whose feelings do I then prioritize? Because Mina, I know that I need to be there and I need to be doing this. And as much as I'm regarding the fact that you're trying to protect me and you know better and whatever else, it's also the fact that this is important for me and my life force. I cannot, for any reason, stop doing what I'm doing. And I'll take whatever risk I need to take. And it's not to disrespect you, but I'll do whatever I need to do to get this done because this is important for me.
Yeah.
And you then, so one of us needs to concede to the idea that it is not personal. It is not against anyone. It is just what needs to get done. And for the relationship to work, we need to be able to communicate that. And I think that's the problem with the kind of relationships that we have in our lives. We're at a point where most of the people that we are in relationships with come from different times, come from different families. So like we are definitely from a very different time zone, and everyone is trying to get understood. But very few people are trying to understand. Very few people are trying to have relationships and communicate and do the things that are necessary for us to be able to build the bridge. Because that's all we are. Like between my humanity and your humanity, there must be a bridge built between us. And now it's between my humanity and your humanity, there must be a bridge built. And if we're not willing to make the investments and build the bridge through the time and the effort and the listening and the speaking and doing the things that are necessary to keep this alive, not at anyone's expense. It mustn't be at a point where I am dying to keep our relationship going. We must both be willing to meet each other halfway to build the bridge.
Definitely.
And I mustn't be standing here trying to inspire you to build this bridge with me. Relationships are not supposed to be that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with where we are as a people. We want what we want at whatever cost, but we're not willing to see what's happening on the other end. To see what's maybe you're gonna have to build more of the bridge because you know. But if I'm not communicating that, you're gonna be halfway and you're gonna be like, well, you don't want to meet me halfway. But I'm like, see man, you know, like on my end, I need to be like, yo, like, can we keep on?
That's a great segment because man, I want to ask you, when did you start poetry, like writing? Let's just think, we would see, where did you actually become like this
a writer?
Is something I'm gonna writer and then transcend to poetry.
Writing, I started. My mom was an avid reader. And I think because we've never had this conversation, but I think because and I was so far away, and she'd probably I don't want to make a theory, but she gave me a diary / journal on my birthday. I'm from grade 3. Like I was in primary school though. I think I was like a junior. So I'm from grade 2, grade 3. And she gave me a journal as a present for my birthday with the pen. Oh my gosh, I still remember it was pink and it was so cute. And she just encouraged me to write. And she was like, Bali. So everything.
Did she specify what?
She was just like, whatever you want to write, girl. Like, and you can't talk to me, just write it down. Or if, oh man. Or if like anything, I don't even understand why I'm getting emotional over this. What the hell? I think it's because I'm realizing how much that saved my life actually. And that's how I didn't write for a very long time though. And then because I used to like bala on other things, and then someone would be reading my things and then I'd get in trouble for what I wrote or something like that. So I was like, oh. The notes, and also it was so pretty, I didn't want to ruin it. Like the then eventually I started writing. And then I started writing poetry. I hated it because I thought my poems were whack. And then I stopped, and then I started writing rap. And then I was a rapper for 5 seconds.
The bars.
And that was
very probably that was like the thing that you always had around like music.
Yeah. Definitely.
You were like influenced somehow.
Oh, definitely. I was always like, I used to, when I was like 5-ish, Like, actually, before that, there was like an island Ekaya. Oh my gosh, you guys. There was an island Ekaya, right? And then I used to get on, like, I used to jump onto the island. Masayu Island, I'm in a totally different world.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, I'm singing. I remember Brown Eyes, a Destiny's Child. Didn't know the words, but I was out here, like, singing that. Yo, guys, it was a good time to be alive. Music definitely had shaped my life. Mine's even now, when you're sad, you listen to music. When you're angry, you listen to music. When you've got nothing to do, you listen to music. When you write, you listen, I don't know, I guess it's just always been...
Yes, the more kind of music which just made me thought of, there's this, I don't know which word people are going to catch on. I don't know, maybe somewhere people are catching on this Afro-tech deep house. Yo.
These people are...
Yes! Flag.
No! Because it's dope. I listen, I've been, the time I've been too much with DJing and stuff, I used to play deep house. But mind you, this is like a different kind of deep house. So sit back. Our technical difficulties. So it's cool, man. Before. Let's cool, man.
So, but I'm like,
No, what's the thing is? Oh no, you play this thing. Not school opera.
The thing is,
the reasoning of I don't even know how long we've been recording because it's not the whole day.
all right.
But just to touch on it though, because it's important, it's something that's happening. When I want your take, like if you can just give me just solutions, because already the problem is we know what's happening, how the men out there are behaving, including apparently. Try now and go to Facebook and not all men. Oh Lord.
You don't even need to go to Facebook for that.
Even if you're saying it, it's like don't do it because you are trash. Basic. And it's like taking to accept and understanding. This is how it's happening right now. It takes too much. So if you can just give me, so what do you think in Amelia's sense? What's in Canada?
I think it's not all men are trash. I think it's a lie, because this is what's happening. We were born and raised in a society, in institution, in households, everywhere that indoctrinated us that we were superior to women.
Yeah.
So to say that you're an exception to that decade of indoctrination is a lie.
Not decade, lifetime.
Lifetime of indoctrination is a lie.
The jump.
Because even from as little as primary, for me to get approval from other men was based on how many girlfriends I had. That's when So it's always dependent on that. So in any form or shape or way, this thing has been instilled in our mind that we are superior to women, that we have right over women, that might say no. She'll mean yes after a few no. So just keep pushing. It's so zonke lezi zinto lezi it's like yabo makuphihlike class uyabona lama code yawaqoqa and then masuhamba njanyathele usiyabona khona namancane angabonakali. So the people that are saying not all men don't realize lamancane akhona.
No, it's not that they don't realize them, more than it is they don't. We're gonna make believe that they're not there. We are as
definitely.
And you have that gut feeling it's there somewhere, sure. But maybe you don't want to admit it to yourself because you don't want to view yourself as a man who could have raped, and who could have killed, and who could have.
Yeah, because can imagine it's becoming a war of like, is it men versus women? And it's like, if we understood these things that have indoctrinated us, or this institution, or these beliefs that have indoctrinated us to see the world like this, if we realize that it's a fight against that, then we'll be willing to be on the same team. Because manje kuba ngathi they're attacking us, but ilento le esisenze saba into this cell.
So, or no, even though the solution yakho is of I feel.
The solution angafiki. So my solution, my solution, I think the solution has to come in this kumangai men accountability, because zonke lezi zinto mazenzeka, I strongly believe ukuthi zonke lezi zenzeka within the men's circle knowing first, because uqala ukhuluma eqala even catcalling ukuthi yasibonisa sinqale siyana.
Are you sure that
you know, because I'm called you accountable at that. Yeah, well, so it has to start within us first. To know, man, like no, that's not it. Because it's like
I know, bro. I don't like to.
You must pass.
So I'd say because like Langelihle also mentioned like in the like men are like, okay, women need to see we also need help. Like where are we need help and where they can help. And then she spoke about this the said, I thought there was a good analogy. We first have to go take that long mile. This is not a matter of even half anymore. It's like umusa if they decide to help at this point, the way that things are. Like it's not a matter of like women need to help us understand whatever. We need to do the work. And what's it? I feel like we are fighting this because Howard, there was this Not in My Name march that was happening recently, right? And that also made me realize it's like we are being offended, that has nothing to do. Like we're being sensitive towards the situation, and this thing we don't live the consequences of what is happening. But we are the one, and we are taking offense, because that Not in My Name was like, it was fighting against not what is happening, but against the preservation of manhood. Yeah, so it's like, we're fighting this idea of that we're not all trash. And we want to preserve Leon Delay, but we're not actually going deep into what is actually happening. What is in that name? Like what has been molded in that name? And I think it's having those kind of conversation, having those holding each other accountable at all times. That would be the solution. And then if women decide to join in the conversation, so they say most. Because we need to do the work.
What you think can actually solve, if there is one thing to solve, this imbalance that we feel right now in energy, what do you think we can do?
Spando kusho ukuthi we feel inini enifilayo, so inini eniyazi ukuthi yini kahle hle. You can't expect women to have the answers on how to heal your brokenness when you're not trying to deal with your brokenness. Njoba desho uwanele your real name.
It's fine.
Okay, because njoba desho uwanele. I honestly feel as though we shouldn't be having a discussion of Uguti as women or as the people who are mostly, and it's not to say that only women are victims of the whole system of patriarchy even. It's to say that we're the ones who are bearing the greater brand. And we should be focusing on our own healing, and so should men be focusing on their own healing. You can't expect me to focus on my brand and then carry your load. Mina ngizokuqalisela mina mhlawumbe mabushode yabo. Kodwa wena kumele ukhokhe the greater deal of the whole thing. I can't be expected to communicate ukuthi yini amadoda adinga ukuyenza ukuze into yokuqala kodwa mina that I can see from where I am is men holding themselves accountable, and then men holding other men accountable. Because akukho la soyakhona mangabe kuukuthi ngithi kuwena you're standing on my neck and you're like, no way darling, I'm not. And I'm like, but I can't breathe. And you're like, manje mina ngenze njani, trying to be fighting for my life and then trying to teach you how to stop wanting to stand on my neck, or like what. I shouldn't even be in the conversation. Mina mhlambe ngaza later kwi conversation isenixoxile. senixoxile nina nodwa namadoda ukuthi hey yazi mfethu njoba dash guys will sit. I've been in a situation where I was one of the boys and I'd see guys sitting and like talking dirtiest things about abantu besifazane, and women kind of do that to a certain degree, but the difference usually is that for us it's appreciation more than it is trying to degrade your whole humanity. Because Masutobin appreciates when it's she's got a nicely packed ass, like it's nice and that's where it might end. But you calling out my ass in a group of 10, and the fact that futhi into leyo in most cases ongaziyenza masithu wethu, like you wouldn't just go up to me and be like, in most cases.
There are cases where you feel like gang, like you can do more. You can yeah, because more group you feel the energy, which I know.
So why can't the energy be positive? Why does the energy have to degrade my humanity? Because that's the problem. The problem isn't that you're appreciating my ass. The problem is by you calling it out, you're not appreciating it, you're degrading me ngamabom, because ufuna ngibe nalamahloni vele sengizoba now about something that I have no control over. Angicelelanga lezi ngquthi zibe ngaka. Angicelelanga ukuthi uyithande. Futhi it's not because I'm not wearing these jeans because I'm thinking to myself, yes, masengidlala lapha ekhoneni, basangimemeza. No, I'm just walking. And I'm just trying to get to where I'm trying to get to without having the hollering, without having the attention, without having, because it gets to a point where you don't even want male attention. And ungaqoka ngisho namapijama, ugqoke ngisho noma ungenzani, ngisho noma ungagunda, ugqoka amahliphi. Somewhere in the world there is a man who will still feel entitled to your humanity because umuntu wesifazane.
So what do you think?
And he's superior to your.
Yeah, it's all about power at the end of the day. What do you think? How you say that? The way.
Don't be something.
Yeah.
I think it's different
So
because it comes
that?
from a different age.
Yeah,
I think for
but
me,
it was still the same thing because it's like.
no, it wasn't the same thing. What men now want to act like that was the same thing. It wasn't the same thing. Amadoda kudala were they used to respect the female body and they were very appreciative of it. And mabekwenza babengakwenzi kwi-caucus. Babengenzi kwi-caucus. Wayehamba yedwa ethi hawe ma ngengikwazi ukuthula nendlela engi-appreciate ngayo. Like umuhle, umgahle, like nje. You're so amazing. You're a goddess. It wasn't, I want to degrade you so that you feel like you ain't shit.
Yeah. So I was gonna let me just give you just snippets of my solution if there is a solution because I want to be home. Even though we didn't go into the topic, so now this is how I look at it. This is why I believe it's a bit more complex to try and solve out. We'll see. Let's start from the leadership thing. To sort out boundary this patriarchy society, because that's it's patriarchy and capitalism, consumerism. Because everything is about having more. Whoever doesn't have. And it's about the patriarchy at the end of the day. It's all about power. Everything is all about taking. It's about
which is all it's turning, right?
Yeah, I'm saying in general right now, from the jump, that's how it's been in terms of Mzansi, for example. And usually that's controlled by the powers we have. Powers from just male power, from command, from all the way to the whole country. And that's causing, when it comes to the finances, when it comes to the school systems, in terms of teaching people, those people are in control. Just in there, all the leadership, whatever control the laws, for example, whatever creates the actual cases, who gets charged for one, justice, and all the so it's all about leaders. We lacking leaders, of which Shoma Jones actually spoke on it. There was a training she was speaking on it. There's a certain expectations we have from leaders. We expect meeting the community. Usbalibani and Usbalibani, whatever also. Since we want the leaders to call and try to form our post, people like our post come and say something. because they wanted me because I keep it wrong, so they can try to sort that. And not there, by doing that, so I was going to anyway, we're going to say what we want to hear. So, which means the situation is not going to be solved. So, not only they can break down Kanani, but it's like it's a very broad thing, and it goes to identity. The African continent as a whole, we like identity. Shit. We all know, see, from the way I look at it, there's a lack of understanding, see, what an African person is supposed to do. In general, how they're supposed to carry themselves.
And just like clarity, so are you saying that the onus is on the people that lead us?
No, I'm saying that's one aspect that can actually help.
And more.
And because by it not being actually sorted, yeah, more.
So when you make them try to, because this is how I was opposing those So when you say that the African people need to understand who they are, I think these issues
okay. Now that's let me put it this way now, because I don't want to speak on position and discuss. Not understanding because there's negative attacks on women and attacks on foreigners. So this part is all about the foreigner. We're not understanding we are the same thing.
So it comes down to your internal work.
Yeah, your internal work, it helps out in how you observe the world. I don't know if it makes sense. So, in the low feel about you need to also carry out your energy to work.
So you work on yourself first.
Yeah. Of course, it's about working on yourself. That's like the basic thing. I go and think about that. It's like, what you want to do if you work on yourself? Anything you're trying to do, you need to work on yourself. Because how are you going to help anyone if you want? I don't really count as a on a daily basis. You need to be the first person to do it. If you work on it, how are you going to help? So I don't usually make it as an exception to something many years in jail. Every day make a decision just to assist our wedding, basically, before we assist our wedding. Because most sisters are never doing cocaine. Okay, but for time,
That's like so much to ask.
I know. Sounds good. Because you managed to change.
Keep us in this boy.
Can we do that, brother? Because I'm unsettled by the fact that firstly, I'm very unsettled by the fact that we're saying that everything is on everyone else and not going back to ourselves, because at the end of the day, because society is made up of me, you, him, and all of us need to be working internally on holding ourselves accountable to whatever bigger picture we paint for ourselves. And if we're going to say that the problem is with X, Y, and Z, and the problem is always everywhere else but internal, then for me that is a very big problem, because we're saying that then people don't have control of power over their own actions because their leader didn't step in, or because they don't know their African identity, or because they're like...
No, it's not just simple as that. I want to make it obviously who the powers we want to see actually restoring the truth of what they want internally sorted out. So your internal fixing is the basic thing. It's something that's...
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, going back to the basics so that we can root out the problem at the roots?
But it says things in the blocking roots as well, something like on the basics. Is control our leaders.
That's right.
In terms of justice, for example, a situation in which it's clear, so my man did this and this and this, and I say, look, it's not so easy the way justice is switched over. And then what happens when the person actually got away with whatever they do, what happens to them?
You underestimate the power of collective thinking within people versus the people that are in power.
Pause.